Okay, hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Serchi, one of the dietitians from Naluri. So a couple of weeks ago, we have discussed about diet, physical exercise, and mental well-being, which are very much related to healthcare. Did you know that we do have financial planner in our Naluri app as a coach to help you to manage financial stress or uncertainties, especially during this period of time? We understand that this is a constant worry since some of us may have lost the source of income or not being paid during MCO, which impacted our financial stability. Today, it's our pleasure to invite Fateen, one of the financial planners in Naluri, to talk about what can we do to improve our financial status, especially during this period of time. So this webinar will take about 1 hour. If you have any questions, feel free to type them out on the chat and we will answer after the sharing session. So without further ado, I'll pass the time to Fatin to begin her sharing.
Thank you, Sachi. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. So, a little bit of background. So, I am one of the financial coaches on Naluri app. So, this is some kind of financial education webinar for all of you. It's not just in time of critical situation. May you can take some benefits out of this sharing for your along your career or in your life. So just to let you know, with critical situation, it means a greater kind of uh, care that you need to take on your financials. Okay. So, okay. So Sachi, I can just Okay.
Yes, you can.
Wait, can you hold on? Okay. So
Okay.
things that I want to talk through with you about is first, what is our issue and what is the current Malaysian financial landscape? And number two is on the recent moratorium and the Bantuan Prihatin Nasional, all this kind of stimulus package that was announced by the government. What can you get from out of it? And number three is how can you further improve your financial situation from now? Okay. So a little bit of background. I am a licensed financial planner with a independent financial advisory firm, which is Wealth Vantage Sendirian Berhad, Wealth Vantage Advisory Sendirian Berhad, or in short is WVA. We are an independent financial advisory firm, which is licensed by Security Commission, Bank Negara Malaysia, as well as FIMM. Okay. So we are actively participating in educating the masses, society at large on financial wellness, on financial literacy. So we did being approached by a few corporates to give a talk to their employees. Also, we did one education talk to the children, those kind of things. So yeah, we are one of the firm that really care about the literacy, financial literacy specifically for Malaysian at large. We are also the only independent financial advisory firm that have corporate partnership with Naluri. So I think some of you are Naluri users. Some of you might have a chat with me in Naluri app. There's also a few of my colleagues and my directors also are part of the financial coaches for Naluri. Okay. Okay, a bit of background of myself. I'm Fateen Rosli, a licensed financial planner. I just got my IFP, Islamic Financial Planner certification in 2018. So previously, I had 10 years of corporate background. Why is it like my change from corporate shift to financial planning is because of it really relates to myself. I did some past financial mistakes before this. So when I learned about financial planning, I engaged a financial planner. So I think this is something that I want to do as my career, which is to educate people outside the importance of why you need to really care about your financials. I don't know about you guys, but during my younger years, I had struggle to manage my financials because previously I was like, after study, I got my money, my salary, I was like, I don't save. So that can be one of the financial mistakes that some of us might do. So yeah, so that's why I'm passionate about doing this financial education talk. Okay, now we go on the serious note about current Malaysian financial landscape. Okay, as you all know, we already been in movement control order, maybe I think about 42 days now. If I'm not mistaken, it's our 42nd day. So as you know, it's already been announced on Friday, 23rd of April, that the MCO will be extended until 12th of May. We wouldn't know yet whether will there be any extension or this is the final PKP. We don't know yet. So, however, based on the MIER research that's done, which already been out on the 23rd of April as well, with the longer lockdown beyond April, there will be deeper recession for Malaysia economy growth. So as you can see, already stated there, our Prime Minister also already did some announcement that each day during the MCO is active, our economy losses about 2.4 billion a day. This is a big impact. This is because of the the business is put at halt. People can't go to work. So yeah, so this is our current economic situation, not just to the country but to us, our own too. So this is expected. Gloomy days are expected ahead. We have never seen this recession. So as you I don't know about you guys, but this is my first time in my career life that I faced a recession. Previously, during the 1998, I was just at school, in my primary school, just know about the Asian financial crisis. And then the second one hit me when I was in uni, but it's not really impact me, but it's just because of the 2008 was the 2007, 2008 was the subprime crisis. That one because of I was in overseas, so the Aussie dollars to ringgit is a bit high, so that's how it's impacted me. But this time around, is something at global scale, which has never happened because it impacted the health general at large, and then the market also is at downturn. So as you can see, as I mentioned just now, our economic growth will be impacted. Our GDP is impacted as per MIER reported. And then it's also projected that job losses is estimated about 1.46 million for this worst case scenario. Previously, it was projected about 2.41 million. However, with the best case scenario, they said that it will be less than 30,000, and we hope that this is the future. We don't want a lot of people loses their job, loses their income, or have salary cut in the future. Okay, but just to mention, the assumption for this MIER was that the second half of 2020, it assumes that the oil price would be about $35 and it will all hover about that 20 to $35 until 2021. So this is something that we hope for a good news globally, so we will also benefit from it. Okay. Nonetheless, with all this Malaysian impact, the economy impact, most Malaysians do not have emergency savings. So this is a bit sad, and this is why I am really want. This is why I want to educate people. I mean, we can see that from statistics, the AKPK, most Malaysians, research done by AKPK, 50% of Malaysians have difficulties to raise 1,000 ringgit just for emergency. So this is a bit sad. And then 1 in 5 Malaysians do not save in the past 6 months. So I hope all of you listening is not part of the statistics, and I hope if you are, we will improve this situation in the future. Okay. And then this is another sad part is about 30% of us, about 33% of us, have to borrow money just to buy basic needs. So this is a bit daunting to have it on paper. Okay. Okay. Now we all know all about the issues. We have a bit of background on what currently happening at global in our country. So what is the stimulus package already announced by the government? How can we benefit from it? Okay, so the announcement on moratorium was announced late of March. Okay, this is to assist the individuals, also the SMEs, because SMEs is the backbone of our economy. Actually, our economy rely on the SMEs about 70% of our GDP growth. Okay. Okay, on the economic stimulus package. The optional, the 6 months automatic loan moratorium. So this is a big jargon, moratorium. So it's a loan deferment from banks, including PTPTN and PTPK. What does it mean? That you will not be penalized, or there's no bank will not come after you if you do not pay your loans for the 6 months. This one is until April until September of 2020. And then there's also the 3 months insurance Takafu contribution holiday for life. This is the deferment that you need to ask from your agents or the insurance company if you want to take if you opt to not to pay for your insurance premium or your Takafu contribution. Okay. And the next one is about 500 ringgit EPF withdrawal from account 2 for 12 months. So the eligibility for this withdrawal is you have to be 55 years below, and you need to have a sufficient amount for the next 12 months. That means it's about 6,000 you need to have in your account too in order for you to withdraw it. So if you apply in April, you will receive it in May, and it will be credited to your bank account. Okay. And then the next one is if you a PRS contributor, I mean you put in money, invest in PRS for you to enjoy the tax relief purposes previously. So you can, if you need money, you can have about 1,000 ringgit, 1,500 ringgit per PRS provider from your account B. Okay, so this period is this offer is until 31st December 2020. Okay, so this is for all. Economic stimulus for all. The electricity usage discount 2% to 50% depending on your usage, and then 1 gigabyte internet usage per day during the MCO. You have to chat with your internet provider on this. Also, depending on eligibility on the government financial assistance, the Bantuan Prihatin Nasional. Okay. Okay, let's talk about more on moratorium. So what are the loans that are applicable for the moratorium? So it's the housing loan, the ASB loan if you take the uh, ASB financing. Also the car, auto loans, personal loans. And bear in mind, credit cards is not part of this moratorium. Yeah, so you still need to pay on your credit cards. However, you can reduce your credit card payment by convert your credit card balances into a term loan. Why do you need to consider this to reduce for term loan if you cannot pay your outstanding balances? It's because of the interest would be lower as compared to credit card interest. Credit card interest is one of the highest in Malaysia. It's about 18%. So if you convert it to be term loan, so you will reduce on your monthly payment. Okay. So what are the important things that you would need to understand about this moratorium? Tenure can be extended extended by 6 months, and then the monthly repayment for housing, it can be slightly increased over the remainder of tenure, including the extension provided. Okay, so but for car and personal loan, there's no changes on your repayment as the interest is already being calculated upfront. So it's just that your tenure will be extended. Okay. Okay. A lot of people ask, should I take up the financial initiative? I don't know what is it all about, but should I take it? So questions that you need to ask yourself: do you have monthly cash flow deficit? What does it mean by cash flow deficit? It means that your expenses is more than your income. Okay, or you might supplement your expenses using your credit card on monthly basis. So if you're using credit card but you did not repay your credit cards timely manner, so it's a one of the sign that you might be on cash flow deficit. Okay, so that's why I said the second one, you have to know that whether you have outstanding credit card balances. So if your credit card balances are stagnant, then probably this is not the one. If you like have monthly outstanding keep on building up, so yes, you have outstanding credit card balances and it keep on increasing. Okay, and then do you have insufficient funding up to 6 months of your monthly expenses? Okay, how do you want to calculate this? Say that your expenses, monthly expenses is about 4,000 a month. This is include all your repayments, your groceries, your everything, your expenses on your monthly expenses. So what you need to have is about 24,000 keep aside as liquid cash for your emergency funding. So do you have that or not? Okay. Another one is, do you feel that your main source of income will be affected during or post MCO? So uh, have your bosses say that do you have uh, salary cut or allowance already being cut, or your job might be jeopardized in the future? So this is something that you need to know about it. Okay, so if you say most of it you answer yes, then you need to consider of taking the financial initiatives that already listed out just now. Okay, so we know already about the issues. We know what the government stimulus package that can help us. Now, what can you do to improve your financial situation? So I just want to share with you some of tips that how can you do to improve your financial situations currently, regardless whether you have challenges throughout this MCO period, or you are not directly impacted yet, or you will not be directly impacted financially. So I will share some tips. Hopefully it will be beneficial. It will be something that you will take on and remember throughout your life. Yeah, so because all of us are here to learn and improve our financial situation. Okay, so this is just an example. A person, say Miss A and Mr. B, or if you're single, so it's just every month you will get a salary or income or allowances, commissions, and then you will have expenses, monthly expenses. Also, some might use credit card, but some will pay out. But then, yeah, okay. Whatever left, it's your savings. So this is the usual when I talk with my clients. So it's like I don't save. I just spend whatever. Then whatever left is my savings. So yeah. So this is what we call financial tank. And this financial tank is savings for few of things. One is wedding if you are not married yet. Some would like to buy property, buy car, this kind of thing. So this is to pay down payment. So if you are married, then you were thinking about to have kids. So childbirth is a bit costly also in Malaysia. It's not just about childbirth, but then the expenses for the child as well when for them to grow. Education, child's education, or your own self-education, pilgrimage based on your religion if you want to have to go for pilgrimage. And then retirement, so this one is all everyone's dream, to retire comfortably with whatever that you already save up, because you already like studying so hard, and then you're already working for the past, for how many, 20, 30 years, so you want to enjoy life while you can, right? So this is one of and then we also being forced to save. If you don't know that we are forced to save in EPF, so this is a good savings also by the government. I mean, like, for an avenue for us. If not, I tell you, because a lot of people that I met, they think less about the future. They just like living in the now. So this is what you don't want it to happen. So another thing is life dreams. What you want to do with your life. I mean, like, because we're already working so hard, so obviously you want to spend our money to do things that we want in the future. Okay. However, this financial tank, to support all your dreams, to support all your goals, they have leakages. So what are the leakages? So the minimum leakage is tax. If you don't optimize on your tax reliefs, so you will need to pay tax. The next one is inflation. If you just put your money in just savings account, and the savings account doesn't grow, so how can you beat the inflation for future living expenses? So it will eat up on your savings. So there's also big leakages. So what are these big leakages? So if like damage to your assets, this is if there's fallen tree, or your house is caught on fire. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm experiencing, in the evening, I'm experiencing heavy downpour every day. So I'm a bit scared, because there's a big tree in front of my house. So yeah, this happened before, but luckily it doesn't happen to our house. So this is things that we need to protect our assets, big ticket items also. And then we talk about the financial losses. What happens if you are forced to leave the working environment? What if you are forced to take unpaid leave? Can we deal with it? We need to eat up. We need to take out from our savings, okay, to just to support our monthly expenses. So accidents usually always happen in Malaysia every day. Luckily, this PKP, I thought it will be less. I thought there won't be any accidents, but still we see there's accident happen during PKP as well. So this is something major, damage to your assets, to your car. So if your car is total loss, you might need to pay out to the bank if your insurance is lower coverage than your whatever the value of your car. So you will need to take out from your savings, so your financial tank will shrink. Okay. Another one is illnesses, or if death happen. If the breadwinner is on deathbed, then how can the family members who are left behind, how can they live from day to day? Okay, is it enough from your savings, or whatever that you already left for them? Is it enough? Okay. So like I said, if the breadwinner is no longer can provide to the family, there's no more inflow here, but the expenses is still there. So there's no more inflow to your savings. So there's some life priorities that you cannot achieve because of all these things. Okay. So our life priorities may be jeopardized when our income is uncertain. That's why we really need to we need to reflect on this. How is our income? Is it stable? How is our expenses? Okay. So tip number 1. So you would need to review your current income, analyze your current situation. Is your employment status stable? Is your work is safe? What do you have in hand? How much savings that you have? Uh, and then you would need to know to list out all your expenses that you have, which one can be reduced or deferred. You might need to discuss on lifestyle change if you need to with your spouse, with your family member, just to set on the expectation if you need to reduce some of your expenses. So what you can do is prepare a budget plan for the year. You will need to identify each one of things, expenses that you can omit it, you can take it out, and then you need to prepare how much income that you need to supplement all your expenses. Okay, so this is for you to be not stressed out, and then can be like to have a peaceful of mind, because this is what we want to achieve, to have a peace of mind, not to worry or burdensome on financial situation. Okay, how can we review or reduce the expenses? Okay, first you need to identify your needs versus your wants. Your needs is something that you cannot not having it will impact your livelihood. But the ones, if you don't get it, you can still have you can still live comfortably if you don't I mean like you don't succumb to your wants that much. Okay, it's not that you can spend, but just be wise on what you spend. Okay, the key is to be smart on how to spend on your wants, and then you need to prioritize on your needs first. Okay, so dining. So all of us are forced to uh, buy groceries and cook at home now with the family. So instead of just or if previously you always go out dine to the hotels or restaurants, or just like every day to the aircon restaurants. So this is something that uh, you can how can I say, you can just analyze back if it's really important. I mean like if you use Grab food now, or not just Grab food, I mean the delivery services, Food Panda, Grab, or all those things from the restaurants, you can still do it, but then probably just to reduce it for 1 week, once a week or twice a week, that will be enough. So you can see some changes. If you cook yourself, the cost will be lesser as compared for you to go out buy from outside. Okay, transportation. This one you need to balance between the necessities, the comfort, as well as the affordability, other than your preference. Because I heard that some people just say that, oh, with the moratorium money that uh, I can just save it up, take the from the all the loans that I don't need to pay. That can be my down payment for my next car, my bigger car, or much more expensive car. It's not wrong for you to do that, but can you afford to do so? Because not just about monthly repayment, you need to think about the maintenance in the future. uh, and then on the things that you need to keep in mind whether your income would be the same as previous or not. Okay, so this is things that you can be wise about it. Okay, and the third one is, this is just examples. So the third one is entertainment. So this is my own experience. I did cancel on my subscription for my cable TV. So instead of paying 200 a month now, so I'm just paying for the streaming provider. So I can save about 150 ringgit a month now. So this one can be channeled to other things, on my savings, on my kids' savings. And then another thing that I did just 1 week before the MCO started, I reduced on my postpaid plan. So instead of using to have a lot of data internet, previously it's about 40 gig. So I reduced it so I can cut half of my mobile expenses. So these are the things that you need to reflect. You can ask yourself, what are you comfortable with, those kind of things. So for me, because I work mostly at home, so I just use my house internet rather than my postpaid. So I can just save up a few couple of ringgits. So determine which expenses lah. Like I said, which one is priority, which one can you reduce, or you can just put as defer it to other time. Okay. Okay. Tips number 2, to build up your emergency fund. So how can you save up? How can you save up for your emergency fund if you haven't done so? So firstly, with the moratorium, so you can build up your cash, as well as you can pay the high interest debts if needed. So what is high interest debts? So like I mentioned just now, it's your credit card debts. This is the number one. Second is your personal loan. Okay, so pay up from those things, and then if you take all the Lestari, the PRS, all those bantuan, you can also build up your emergency fund from there. So if possible, save from salary about 10% a month. This is excluding the EPF for savings. So if you know EPF, you already being deducted from your salary. It's about 11%. So in a month, actually, you will be able, you can afford to save about 20% a month. Okay. So this is the time to prepare for future uncertainties. If you have not started, it is for you have to start now. Okay, there's no better time when or how. So the time is now. Okay, sikit-sikit lama-lama jadi bukit. If you don't do anything, you will be at the same place where you are now. Okay. So this is just sharing on the ideal expenses ratio that you might want to follow, or you can just have gauge on where you are now. So you can just reflect on lifestyle, anything that you can trim based on your household expenses. On your housing loan, you can just review how much is the interest that you're paying. Is it BLR plus or BLR minus? Those kind of things. Are you paying more than other people? What about higher purchase? Can you afford to pay it? Or not on monthly basis. For me, when I did in my younger years, I did a mistake. So I purchased a car which is a bit more expensive than I can afford to. So it's like 1/3 of my salary is paying for the car. So silly me. So and then after that, for my second car, when I already started a family, so I reduced on my car loan, my car monthly payment, changed to a not, I mean, like change a car that's comfortable, but then with the lower monthly repayment. So for me, my this is my own principle. My car cannot be more than of my annual salary. So I don't know about you guys. This is just for me, yeah. So other than that, it's about 10% savings or for investment and 10% for protection. Okay. So for cash management, you need to protect yourself and family's economy. So like I said, 6 months emergency savings. So avoid panic buying, hoarding, or unnecessary online shopping. Just purchase on your necessities only. You need to set aside for cash reserve before you invest. This is so important. You don't invest on all your liquid cash that you have. You need to set aside first the 6 months emergency savings before you invest. Okay, because you don't want to liquidate your investment when the time is low, because you want to buy low, sell high. Okay, and then important to have emergency savings, because we don't know until when this MCO will end. We don't know whether all of us are spared from this economic cycle, whether we still have jobs, is our income will be lost, or those kind of things. So these all things that we need to bear in mind. Okay, the third tip, you need to identify what you can do during and post MCO. This is because we already mentioned the issues, things that we don't know on the, but there's a lot of uncertainties, right? So this is things that I hope some of us can take into account on what you can do during this period. First, generate income. So you might want to, your passion can be a business income to you. If you are you can do online classes, like I did yoga, Zumba online. So the instructor still still uh, ask for money, so you can just help them, because that's how they have their living, they create their living. So some of us, I know that some kids are coming, the not kids, I mean like the just the teenagers, the 18 above, so become a grocery shoppers as part of their how they want to generate income. So thing is, you need to have plan B. What you have now, so what can you do in order for you to generate income? So spring clean. Our trash can be someone else's treasure. We don't know. For us, it might be like this is such a nuisance, this pile of junk. But to other people, they will value it a lot, so they will want to buy from you. Okay. So secondly is upskill. You need to you can learn through online courses. Get yourself to upskill in order for you to stay relevant. Okay, and also to increase possibilities. We need to be outstanding from other people. What can we do to be seen, to be heard? Okay, so this is also for the newly fresh graduates, because you might need to compete with people who already lost their job, who already have experiences. But for fresh grads, you don't have experiences, so this is where you need to upskill yourself to be at par with other people out there who are eyeing on the same job, those kind of things. Yeah. So improve financial resiliency. So this is one of the webinar that you can try to improve or learn. You can go to other webinar as well, through upskilling, this kind of things. Then okay, to improve financial resiliency, like I said just now, to reduce your credit card balance and reliance. Please don't use your credit that much. If it's for points, then make sure you pay it up first, before it got charged, or before you already ask for interest on the balances. And then treat it as don't never treat your credit card as your emergency safety net. So this is wrong. Okay, so just don't rely too much on your credit cards. So number two is because why you need to improve your financial resiliency is because there's probably increased future loan repayments. Okay, something that I just told you just now. If you take the opt-in for moratorium, there might be a slight increase on your repayments. Can you afford to do it? So this is something that you can just put in your budget, okay, to have some buffer. So possibility of loss of income, we talked about this at length just now. So that's why you need to improve your financial resiliency. So why we need to have a plan? Why do we need to do all these things now and post MCO? Because we need to bear in mind some things will change after the MCO. So we don't want our family affect as much. If you already put everything in place, you have plans that you already work out on your plans now. So you will have a clearer picture, clearer objective. So you will have a peaceful of mind. Okay. Okay, number four. A lot of people ask, this is so cheap now to buy stock market shares. Should I invest now? Should I invest now? So a lot of people asking. So people always say here in the news about like take the opportunity to invest or on your cash, just to take advantage. So when the market recovers, so you will get a profit from it. So should you? Only when you have set aside cash reserve. Only when you do not have monthly cash deficit. When you already paid off high interest debt. Okay, when you have clear objectives of why you want to invest and what this investment is for, you need to have a clear picture, understand on the risk, understand on the downside, not just about the upside of investing. You need to understand on the downside of investing also. Can you take it? If you have the risk appetite of it, then go ahead. If you don't, then you need to rethink back on ways on where do you want to put your money in. Okay, so you need to have proper asset allocations. With investing, you are creating ripple effects into the economy positively because companies will get injection from investor. But most importantly, you only can invest if you have set aside cash reserves. Like I mentioned just now, why you need to save first before you invest is because of you don't want to do panic selling because you need all the cash. So you will not benefit from the investing that you've done years ago. Okay. Okay, worried just now that I said, should I liquidate my current investment? So you need to understand on return if you stay invested versus the return if you time the market. Time the market is that, oh, when it's time, when the market move downward, only you invest. No, it's not like that. You need to just as you can see from the graph, if you stay invested, you will be better off compared to some people who will time the market. You will miss this one is the miss 10 best days of the market. Then this one is just like missed best 10 days of the 20 best 20 days in the market. So, and you need to understand now is a drop in investment rather than versus than realized losses. The drop in the investment that you make will only realize if you take out your investment. Okay, so this is something that you need to bear in mind. So if you see your investment is down now, it's just a drop in your value for now. Okay, and then another one is review your risk profile and switch to lower risk fund if necessary. And then stay on course of your investment planning. Okay, time horizon. Like I said, different investment objective have different time horizon. So you will need to understand is your investment is for short term or is it for long term. For retirement, for people like my age, mid 30s, it will be a long term investment objective. So for people who are nearing retirement age, so your investment is supposed to be short term and you can't really expose yourself to high risk you cannot expose yourself to high risk investment. Okay, magic of asset allocation. Okay, asset allocation is determined by your risk profile. What type of investor are you? Are you a conservative investor or are you the high risk appetite investor, which is the aggressive investor? And it always depends on your age. If you're young, then you can afford to take the high risk type of investment, but you still need to supplement your high risk investments with the low risk investment, which is cash, yeah, and medium risk investment. Okay, for the people nearing to retirement or already retired, you cannot have a lot of exposure in high risk investment. Okay. Benefits of asset allocation is better portfolio performance. You will reduce your portfolio volatility by 90% because you don't just keep your investment or money in one type of assets. Okay, and then you can account for 40% of your overall return by doing asset allocation alone. Okay, so just showing you an example of asset class returns. So this is a illustration or asset allocation of different classes because each asset classes performs differently in the market over the years. So this is about 15 years of different asset class returns and this is based on the US market. This is just for information. As you can see, the volatility for asset allocation portfolio, it's just in the middle, not so high, not too volatile, and then you can see for other asset classes, for example, you can see the emerging market, there's negative in certain years, but there's also making profit double digit in certain years. So we don't want each year your investment are already being offset from the losses and profit year on year. That's why it's asset allocation is important. Okay, tips number 5, lump sum versus regular savings. So what should you do now? Can I just invest all the bulk money that I have now in one place at one time? Or what should I do? Should I just aggregate my cash that I have into different intervals, consistent intervals, but different timing? So the answer is you should do regular injection into the market, because dollar cost averaging will eventually you will get more return compared to a lump sum investment, especially in this time of market. You don't want to be a speculator, because we don't know yet whether this is the lowest point, or is the market are picking up. So that's why it's important for you to do dollar cost averaging, which is for you to put the same amount regularly for a period of time. Okay, so this is because you can benefit to average the price over time. Okay, tips number 6, get second opinion. So if any of you on Naluri platform, you can just go to the financial planner platform, can have a chat with me or my friend Shahira or other financial coaches out there. So if you don't feel that you're alone in this journey, because we are there, just reach out to us. You can also seek help from the licensed financial planner. If you think all the tips that I mentioned before, it's so daunting, you don't know where to start, what to do, so seek advice from the person that is licensed, that is available in our market. Okay, so just sharing with you, in Malaysia there's only 1,000, just a little bit over 1,000 of licensed financial planner currently. So this is as compared to 50 million working adults in Malaysia. So that's why it's important to know who you talk to, whether the person have credibility, credentials, whether the person is professional. How do you know that person is professional? Is that the person works in the best interest of you. It's not that the other way around, the person just selling you things. Okay, so you need to understand the differences between a financial planner and other people outside there. Okay, just that you need to remember, a financial planner has to work in the best of your interests, providing solutions with a range of solutions and plan for you. Okay, how can you control of your situation? When you already heard from me what I talk about on the 6 steps, on the 6 tips. Okay, for fresh graduates, you know that the PTPTN loan already deferred. You need to spend on necessities. You need to be upskilled to be outstanding, just like I said just now, because you are competing with other people who might lost their jobs. You need to be outstanding. So that's why upskilling is really important, to showcase your talents, for you to have to be relevant. Okay, and then you might want to generate income temporarily, to have to be creative on this. How best can you generate income on this? Save if possible. If you get allowances from the pocket money from your parents or from the government, save if you can for now. Okay, for the financially struggle people, you might think that macam, I don't know what to do now, I don't have anything, those kind of things. I mean, there's some things that you can do. Just look back, list down all your expenses, see where you can maneuver a bit on your expenses, how best can you optimize on whatever that you have, and then opt in for the moratorium and take on other reliefs so that you can feel at ease a bit. And then try to avoid creating new debts. This is if best do not take any more debts. So it will, if you take more, it will strangle you. Okay, so find ways how to increase, how you can increase your income. If you have investment, you might need to plan to liquidate the investment just to supplement on your expenses on your life necessities, and then upskill. So for the person who is better off a bit from the financially struggle um, uh, people, you might want to pay off your high interest debts. Okay, you can pay off all your credit cards. Still, you need to review all the things that I mentioned just now, and you can stay invested to ride out this volatility if you can afford to do so. Okay. So for the next one, everything is okay. I have nothing to worry. There's no concern, those kind of things. But you still need to review on your income stability. This is the key one. So you have to reflect on your lifestyle. Is there something that you can trim your expenses, or there's a redundancy in your expenses? You might want to have a look and then to trim it out. Stay on the course to be debt free. Okay, and then invest your savings to build your assets, but you can invest it consistently, like I said, the dollar cost averaging just now, just to average down the cost of your investments. Okay. Okay, recap on the tips. So I've been talking for about 15 minutes or so. So firstly, list, record, and analyze your finances. What these finances is your savings, it's your expenses, your monthly payment, your groceries, your insurance payments, those kind of things. You need to list it out, have a plan, put a budget on it. And then asset is something that you have. You need to relook at it, what kind of savings, what kind of cash you have in hand. And then your other debts, things that you own to others, which is the banks or people. So this is things that you need to release, you need to list out, record it, and analyze where and what can you do. So that number two, you can build up your emergency fund. Know where to take, how to build your emergency fund, where can you take it in. So yeah, so this build up emergency fund is about 6 months of your monthly expenses. Yeah. And then number three is to identify what can you do now during the MCO, and how can it affect you after the MCO. So this is the things that you need to really analyze, you need to think about, and then have a discussion with your family member, your spouse. Okay. Opportunity to invest. So like I said, this might be opportunity to invest to some people, but then you need to first understand on the risk, on the whether you can do it. It is advisable for you to invest only when you have your savings set aside. Then only you can invest it. Okay, because we don't want for you to realize losses, which is you panic sell on your investment. Okay, so number four, consistent investment rather than lump sum. If you have a bulk of money now, you need to consistently save up, invest like 500 a month if you can. So just stay invested. Okay, and then number six, seek help from subject matter expert. As you see, there's a lot of scams, those kind of things. We don't want it to be like uh, at the end of the day, you will be might be at the uh, other be negatively affected. So that's why seek help from the subject matter expert. Okay. Okay. What I want you to take away from this session from today is for you to have a quality talk on financials, whether with yourself or with your someone that you trust, your spouse, your siblings, your parents, or you can just talk with the subject matter experts, so that it will help you on this journey of on this particular financial journey. Okay. So if you do not know who to speak to, you can just share. It can be on the Naluri app. So you can just go to the financial planner platform. Okay. Okay, if you need further reference, you can go to our website also. And then there's this Bantuan Prihatin economic stimulus package that you can have a read. Uh, there's also we already been in news coverage, bulletin utama, sort of things, and then on NTV7 also. So yeah, sorry. So any
Oh,
questions?
okay, thank you very much, Fatin. It was a very fruitful sharing sessions. I personally benefit a lot from all the tips that you have shared,
Oh, good.
and it helps me to get a bigger picture on in managing my financial stability.
Good to
Okay,
know.
so thank you very much, Fatin.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so now I'll move on to the Q&A session. So we have received a few questions from our audience. So first of all, okay, do you have any advice you can give for a person that is just starting off with financial planning? So it's like a newbie in financial planning. Some quick advice for them.
Okay. Okay, so what you need to have is first you need to identify what you have now. Just like I said, to list down everything. Even if you meet a financial planner, they will request you a set of things, which is on your detail of your cash flow. Really detail. So we need to know what your expenses on monthly basis, quarterly basis, yearly basis, those kind of things, and then what you have, your assets, your savings, your investments, your EPF, those kind of things. So you can just list down, and then your debts. What do you owe to banks, those kind of things. And then the next step is what you want to achieve in your life. When do you want to retire? Because all these life priorities that you want to have, it will translate on what can you do now for you to achieve for that destination that you want, you imagine that you will in the future. So yeah, so have a list, have a budget plan, because this will become handy. Okay.
I see. So it's more like being clear to
Yes.
our expenses, our income,
Yeah.
and how so that we can by making sure that everything is clear, so we can better manage it,
Yes, correct.
and also better. It's better for us to be clear to our situation to seek help,
Yes. Yeah.
seeking help from others such as you and others for
Yeah.
financial planner, right?
Yeah, because people will always panic or stress when they do not know what they have. They do not know where they are now. So that's where the panic or stress, anxiety come about, because that's why, like I said, the first step is for you to understand and identify what you have so that you have a clearer picture. Yeah.
Very true. Okay. Next, so we move on to the next question. Okay, Fatin, can you elaborate about the slightly increase on housing loan nowadays?
Oh, okay. It's
Mm,
because of with the 6 months deferment, your loan principal is still there. It's the same amount. So it's that the bank will calculate it back. It's like refinancing on the amount that you already stopped. So that's why there will be loan repayment slightly increased from what you are used to. So however, there might be different banks will have different uh, kind of way. If you want same monthly repayment to you want your monthly repayment to be the same, you might need to extend your tenure. So, but some banks, they say that with the same tenure, but you will increase on your loan repayment. So you will need to discuss with your bank, or ask from each bank, because each bank offers different offer. Yeah.
okay, I see. I guess financial planning is very much individual because
Yes.
everyone's goal is different.
Yes.
So that is why it's very important to seek help from, for an individualized
Yes.
advisors from a financial planner in the Naluri app.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay, so
Correct.
yeah, if anything that we didn't cover during the presentation, so feel free to download our app
Yes.
and talk to Fatin.
Yeah. Sure. Can reach out
Okay.
to me.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so next will be Fatih, can you please advise us
Yeah.
what are the best investment during this pandemic?
Okay.
Mm,
So there's no one best investment.
mm,
So it will need to be reflected on yourself. like I said, you need to know your risk profile, what type of investor you are. Even though you are an aggressive investor, you don't put all your money in one place, not just in the stock markets. You need to have a balance. That's why, like I said, like I shared just now, asset allocation plays an important role as well. Because you will need some liquidity in your investment portfolio. You will need some the bonds, not just stock, because bonds and stocks are inversely related, the sort of things. So they react differently. So there's also people apa, because of age, also it plays a part. So different individuals with different goals. So that's why there's no general I can give. Just that if you want to take advantage, there's some questions that you need to answer yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you need to understand yourself first. So if you want to take advantage on this kind of market now, you can just maybe place a bit, maybe not more than 10% of whatever the asset value that you have. So okay, so because you need to be aware on all the things that I said just now, then only you can have a informed decision before you make that leap in investing. Yeah.
Mm, I see. So I guess it's very dangerous to, I mean, to say one
Yes.
investment is best for
Yeah.
all because
Yeah.
everyone's goal is different,
Yeah.
asset is different,
Yeah.
and income is different,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it's very
And
hard to say the best one.
yes, yes. And then it
Mm,
depends on your preference as well.
true,
Yeah,
true.
yeah. So
Oh,
I can't
mm,
give I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want to, but it's because some people might take it differently.
mm,
Like I said, this is just a webinar where we can share. And then so if you want to share on your financials, you can just reach out to me. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so just reach out to Fateen in Naluri app, okay?
Mm.
Okay, so now we also have audience who would like to seek for your opinion about whether unit trust is it worth to invest it now?
Okay.
Mm,
Okay. So unit trust. Like I said, so it will be just the same.
mm,
It's there's no one best investment. It's just that you need to know when to buy. I mean, like I said, you just buy on consistent manner. Because this is not just about the instrument that you are investing. It's more also about what you want. Why do you want to invest there? You need to have a clear objective, and it will also depends on your time horizon. Yeah. So you cannot, like I said just now, you cannot just invest in one place, not just in unit trust, or not just in gold, not just in properties. Asset allocation, like bits of pieces on different things, might win you the race later. Yeah.
mm. Okay, so I guess the next question is any suggestion for investment as per number four that you have uh, that is appear in your summary slides just now.
Number four, is it? What is it?
Yeah,
Number four.
the summary slide
Opportunity
is
to
the
invest.
opportunity for investment.
Yeah. So uh, because this slide is important, opportunity to invest is that
Mm,
you need to have cash first before you can invest. So this one is cash is not just cash to invest, but cash to
mm,
save aside first. Then only you can invest. So like I said, it's just based on preference for investment, because I cannot say a lot for investment because certain people, they want to do individually by themselves, but for us licensed financial planner, we have this managed portfolio where we engage with the third party for them to because third party is our fund manager, so they the one who really look at the market on day in day out. Yeah, so that's their expertise. Yeah,
mm.
so can't say that much, but it's just more on advising what can you understand, what you need to have first before you can invest. Yeah.
Okay, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so next one, may I ask if I just start up my career and I'm still new in financial management, do we need to separate emergency fund and saving?
Okay.
Mm,
Because we don't know when is the emergency fund will occur, can,
true.
because this is something, it's things that are unexpected of. So your emergency and savings can be commingled first until you can afford to build it up until to 6 months. Then whatever surplus of that 6 months of your expenses or your 6 months salary, then only you can have it in place to other investment instruments, those kind of things. Yeah. So because the person is new, right? So just building up. So never mind, keep on building up. If you use it, you replenish it back. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. A very, fruitful advice and very practical advice. Okay, so one last question we have. So in case we have more questions, just feel free to type in the chat box. Okay, so far this is the last question here.
Okay.
So is it necessary for me to bring out my KWSP money as allowed by government since I don't have enough emergency money of 6 months salary?
Okay. Firstly, the question that you need to ask yourself just now, whether will you be affected for
Mm,
this time? So if you are, uh, and you say that you don't have that emergency cash, you probably might want to take it out. But then if you don't need to use it, then keep it aside. So do you know that for EPF you can invest in EPF back up to 60,000 a year. So you can
oh,
self-contribute. So if you don't use it after that this 12 months or so until next year, so you can have the option to put it back in EPF. So it will be managed by the fund manager of EPF. So do you know that for conventional fund, the minimum for the returns is 2.5% in EPF. So regardless of the
mm,
market, so EPF needs to give it out 2.5% to you. So if you don't use it, if you want to take it out now, you can take advantage of it. Whatever left, you want to put it in back, or you don't use all, you can put in back in EPF. So it won't jeopardize on your retirement fund. Yeah.
okay, I see. So now we have really get a clearer picture on how we can manage our financial status from all the advices that you have
Yeah.
given to us. So we are very grateful for that,
Yeah.
and thank you very much for spending the time with us today. And
Okay.
again, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for all our audiences
Thank you so
who
much,
have from
Sochi.
YouTube, from Shopee, from everywhere. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Okay,
much for having me. Thank you so much. Have a good day, everyone.
have a good day. So take care and stay safe. And again, if you'd like to talk to Fateen, feel free to download our Naluri app and reach out to a financial planner in the chat channel.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you everyone. Have
Thank
a nice
you.
day to you.
Bye.
Bye bye.